everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of a little show we like to call Speculation Station. I am Joseph Thomas, here as always with my good buddy Eric.
Dicky Doo, how about you?
Nah, no, I don't
Hello.
want to do.
This is the real 2021 Speculation Station. No edits, no cuts, raw and wriggling,
Raw and wriggling. Give it
just
to
like
us.
Gollum likes, just like Gollum likes them.
We don't know what he's referring to. We're hoping just fish. All right, here's where the biggest question can come into play. This is our first live show.
That's correct.
Normally, we do copious amounts of editing. You do. Let's just be
I
honest.
do.
do copious amounts of editing.
But I
for
don't
this
feel
show.
like it this week.
We had an incident recently. Hopefully, this episode shows up
An incident.
eventually.
Yeah.
But a certain episode, we decided to take a little too far. I decided to take.
It got heated. It got heated. It happens.
So we ended up having about, I would say, probably a good hour of arguing.
It was about an hour, yeah, of just
we had to
like
cut.
pointless arguing, where we didn't really get anywhere. It was just circular arguing the whole time.
Yeah, but that's not how this show.
That's
works.
behind us.
It's in the
That's
past.
behind us.
It's in the roundabout.
Still going.
It's in the
Still
past,
going.
but it's still going.
He can't find his exit. Now I can do visual. I can do visual goofs now, which is a whole new medium.
I didn't bring anything to do. I have a gun.
Oh, that's fun. That's, I guess, fun. Oh, look what I got right here. If we'll start this podcast episode by showing off. Look at this little fella. Look who it is.
That is from a thing that y'all will never know about.
This is
Maybe
Tobias.
someday.
He's an evil villain, and he's made of clay that has been sitting out for over a year, and he's getting he's basically rock hard at this point.
Just as Tobias would have desired.
Just as he did Tobias desired. Why don't you tell the people what this show's about, Joseph?
So Speculation Station is a fun little show. We hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoy doing it. We take a video game, be it a single title or an entire franchise, and convert it into a movie, but not just any movie.
A movie that'll get 55% on Rotten Tomatoes or more.
At least.
That's not
55%.
important. That's not important. The more is not important. All that is we hit the mark.
Right.
I always say, I think we've done it. I think we have a good track record. But today we will see if we break that track record. we'll see if today's the day.
We have right now. Yeah, I think we've done pretty good. But also, you've been listening to us after copious amounts of editing. So
that's true. So maybe maybe this is where things really just take a downturn here.
A dive with the nose, as they say.
Oh, here you go. Wait, check this out.
You move so fast. The joke is lost because it's just a blur.
It's just a
it becomes
gray...
a whole nother joke.
I'm like bad CGI, like post Matrix, where everyone was dodging bullets.
Oh yeah.
Too much blur.
But that's what makes it cool.
That's what makes it super cool, and that's why the Columbine kids dressed in trench coats. Was that after Matrix or before Matrix? I think that was after Matrix.
It would have had to have been.
Did you know? Here's my Columbine fun fact. Not really a.
I don't think there's any fun.
It's not. It's fun, but it's not really a fact. The two kids are Dylan and Eric. I'm obviously named Eric. My best friend in high school was named Dylan. And somehow no one ever brought it up. No one, not even in passing. No one was like, "Hey, you guys got the same name as the Columbine kids." I guess they didn't want to inspire us.
No, because you were volatile. You were on the edge.
I was wearing my trench coat.
Well, you were wearing your link tunic.
I was wearing my link tunic with a trench coat over it, and on top of all that was my school uniform. I looked like a Jello man. I looked like the Michelin man with the clothes bunched up down my khakis, my starched khakis and burgundy polo.
I was trying to do a little project and I put on a sweater and I decided, I'm gonna put a vest over this sweater.
That's a good idea. I've seen that a lot.
It's the
It's a
weirdest,
good.
greatest thing America. Now I just need to buy a sweater vest and have that over.
Yeah, there's a thing already. they've already made one. It's called a sweater vest.
Sweater vest.
All
He
right,
gets the
well
best of both worlds.
let's get to the show. Today we're talking about a game that is I haven't said in a while. It's near and dear to our hearts. I like this game a lot. I know you like this game a lot. We're talking about Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
As the famous theme song goes. It's kind of, why don't you give the people who don't know
So Stardew Valley
what this game is? An overview.
Is, I would say, the spiritual successor to Harvest Moon as a series. And Harvest Moon is a farming series where you have a farm and you get animals. Well, Stardew Valley takes it the next. Yeah, I know.
Stardew Valley takes it the next step and makes it good.
Arguably. What they do is they add in 3 different things to the game that weren't originally in Harvest Moon or similar style games, which is now you have dungeon crawling, which is you go into a mine, you slay monsters and get ores. Okay, cool. Now you've got a crafting system. You can basically take your ores and craft and do whatever you want with it. Next, it adds relationships. So you've got, I don't know the exact number, but there's an equal number of female and male bachelors.
10, 12?
And bachelorettes. Yeah. In the town. And they each have different cutscenes and stories that you can access by getting to know them. There's also just regular town folk. That
everyone has cutscenes, but you can start dating those singles, hot singles near you.
You get more interaction. I would love to take that to the next level. If I were ever to design a Stardew Valley-esque game, I would make it just a full-on dating sim for that part. You can absolutely mess it up. Like, if you just say the wrong thing, they don't want to talk to you ever again. Arguably, that can happen in the game, but not to the extent I would want. I want them to hate you.
I want them to turn away when you come near.
So, I think the only other thing that's pretty much that makes it distinct is the sheer fact that most Harvest Moon games had a time limit. You would get in, you have to do as good as you can until a certain year, and then you're done. With Stardew Valley, you can just keep going. Your grandpa
there is a time limit, kinda, in the seasons, because you can only farm for farm specific plants during specific seasons. You can't do corn in spring. Yeah,
there is no, is what I'm saying is there is no end game. As where there are late game things, but there is no in game. As we're in Harvest Moon, in game is right before, like that last winter, right before Grandpa shows up. You better hurry. In Stardew Valley,
Grandpa's coming.
Grandpa showed up. He didn't like it. I could just keep doing it. I'll keep trying each year until he's happy, and then even after he's happy, I can still keep playing.
Right. The thing I like about Stardew the most is I played with another friend that's not you. I played a co-op campaign with him, and you can just kind of specialize in stuff. So like I really like farming, so I focused 100% on farming. He really liked fishing, so he focused on fishing. But you can do that. You can do mining, combat, foraging. You could focus solely on relationships. You could focus solely on the arcade game in the saloon.
There's kind of gates, I would say, to different things, and this is why I love the multiplayer aspect. When they made it multiplayer, it's beautiful that you can have different people specialize in different things. But even if you're just playing by yourself, if you want to specialize in one thing, you can. You can go the entire game without farming. Legitimately,
you shouldn't.
Now you cannot complete the community center that way, which is another big factor.
Well, you can't complete the community center period if you don't
do everything.
Yeah.
But if you specialize in multiplayer, then it's like, okay, hey, I'll do fishing, you do farming.
Right. Yeah. And there's enough there where I think whoever will be satisfied. Like for fishing, it's more of kind of like a collectathon almost, where there's a good 50 fish to complete. Whereas farming is all about making that money, and having a really
is about learning about how everything works, in a sense, to say when is going to be the best time to plant this, when is going to be the best time to harvest it, and how much money will I get from it. And you can just kind of experiment with that and have fun. You're right, fishing is collectathon because hey, you got 50 fish, but also you got to get 50 medium of the highest quality of those fish.
And then Willie comes in, he says, good work, boy.
Even
Here's
if you're
something.
A girl, he says, "Good work,
good work, boy." I'm blind and deaf.
I always thought he looked like Robin Williams.
All right, that's fine. You can think that, I guess. So I get let's go ahead and get into it then. Do you have any ideas for a Stardew Valley movie that just kind of that you've been mulling around in your brain?
I thought about it a couple of times, and I never thought about it in the sense of a movie. I always thought about it in the sense of a series, which is kind of weird. But I think for a movie specifically, I don't know why it just hit me like this now. But what's the? It's not Hallmark, but it's like the simple feel good movies where it's
Yeah.
like so and so had a farm. They've given it to you now. It's literally the plot of Stardew Valley. They have so many movies that do that. Where it's like your grandfather wanted you to have this. I feel like it would just straight up be one of those movies, but almost parody.
Interesting. Okay. So it's like we know what we're doing with this one. We know it's a little cheesy and a little corny, but we're aware of it.
Right. I don't know. I feel like that would be the obvious route, in my opinion, would be to make it self-referential, not to its detriment, but for the humor of it.
I think that could fit well with what I was thinking, which is we go straight, Hallmarky romance with it.
That's possible too.
Because I think probably the biggest, or one of the biggest points that everyone really likes about the game is the characters.
Yeah.
Especially the ones you can date and marry and divorce and date again.
And date again.
The cycle continues. So I think we got, I think we could find a middle ground there for sure. Of, kind of, what's the word? Nostalgic, maybe almost, where it's like just simple,
warm feelings.
Yeah, it's just like a simple. We're not going for any, big thematic stuff or deep messages about Russians.
I love Hallmark movies when they do that. I was watching like
they keep talking about Russians.
I was watching The Christmas Dog, and they just got into this one scene where it was talking about Russians, and I was like, oh yeah, that was my favorite message. There is actually an overarching theme in Stardew Valley, which is interesting that we may or may not want to pull in.
What is it?
It is corporate, or basically, I guess. Corporate innovation versus nature, and simple small town stuff. Which, I'll be honest, I really like the way they do it in the game because you can choose to be the corporation.
You can join the corporation.
You can pay the corporation money, and you can still get everything you want to get. You fix up everything.
Yeah. I feel like maybe this is just how I play. You're talking about Jojo Company?
Jojo.
The
company.
The company. I feel like they always take
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I feel like they always take a backseat in my playthrough. Like we could definitely have them be more of a, if we're going with a Hallmark route and the kind of cheese that I know you're looking for, we could have Jojo Mart be this big, kind of over the top evil corporation that's trying to take down this little picturesque town.
I'll be honest, the game leaves so much open, but I feel like it puts in little hints of what things are supposed to be. When I experienced it, Jojo didn't take a backseat, but it did make it seem like it was the Walmart. And I think this,
it's absolutely the Walmart.
I would hope this was the equivalent, but Walmart in the way that it actually exists in reality is not this be all end all monopoly. It is one of many different chains of supermarkets.
Well, it depends.
So
when you get out to small towns, you'll see they have this, you have the very local main street, and then you'll have a Walmart. And everyone shops at I was watching this movie the other day, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which is set in small town Iowa. And the main character works at, a little mom and pop grocer, and everyone's going to the big corporation store. It's a little farther away, but they're cheaper because they can afford it and they got more stuff. So it's, especially in small towns, it can almost become a dependency in a parasitic kind of way.
Yeah, that's probably was the point of it, because
I think it was, yeah.
Well, and once again, you have that choice in the game, which is kind of interesting. You have the choice, not like you can side with them, but you also have the choice of just not to side with them, but to still buy stuff from them, and it doesn't affect the entire game. It's not like you buy.
And I think that I believe they have cheaper prices than
it is
the
cheaper.
other shop, the general store.
But
I'm loyal.
Exactly.
I'm loyal. I don't like Pierre. I hate Pierre, but I'm loyal.
But I'm loyal to the Valley.
I like him better than the old Bowtie Man in Jojo Mart.
He is interesting.
He's
People tell me I look like him.
Wow. You know what I think you look like. Master of Lake Town.
He sends me. I filmed the video. I was like, "Hey, let's do a screen test."
You told me
on a really
you
good
thought.
Camera. No, I said I look fat. I do look fat.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Look at this boy.
Look at that. Wow.
But he sends me then a picture of Stephen
Instantly.
Fry as the master of Lake Town.
You looked so similar in that one shot.
I don't have the eyes. I gotta get bigger eyes if I want to be Stephen Fry. You got
Master of Lake Town.
I've got deep set slits.
Slits? Like a lizard?
Yeah. I have a lizard, did you know?
Yeah, just like a lizard. Well, let's figure out. I guess I like the campiness of Hallmark movies. I think we could take that. We don't even necessarily have to do it ironically. We can.
I think we can do it the way it is and add in self-referential points to it.
Yeah.
It's
Not, do you have any?
It's not going to be a parody, I don't think, but it can parody aspects of those films.
What are you thinking of? Give me an example. This is the part I would cut, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I'm going to stand here for 5 minutes trying to think of a film that I can't think of.
Well, no, just an example of what you would think in the Stardew movie that would kind of poke
I think
fun
it would start. Oh, what would poke fun at as far as having those Hallmarky feels?
Yeah.
I think you would have a character if we do have all of the bachelors and bachelorettes. Excuse me, bachelorettes appear.
Yeah.
Then I think we can definitely have fun with the ones that would be kind of not as talkity. What's his name?
Yeah.
You know, the pizza one, the one that loves pizza, works at Jojo's, an alcoholic.
Shane,
yeah. Like Shane would probably be like, this is just goopy for me. I don't like this. You know, it'd probably reference the whole thing in kind of a funny way. Because that would be his character, you know.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I know the fans really like Shane, but I don't think we although we could
we could have
he'd be a good one for the old arc.
Yeah.
The turning around. Oh, you don't like each other at first, but then you fall in love.
That's another question. How should we play there? Since the whole game is about choice when it comes to those bachelors and bachelorettes.
We got to make the choice. We got to buckle down.
Do we make the?
Are you saying I do a random?
Or do we set it up like some big friendship thing where it's like at the end, who would you want them to be with?
No, I don't think so. I think we got to choose somebody. Because that's going to be the meat of the movie. Without that, it's not a romance.
I think we could also play into the multiplayer aspects for the film.
How's that?
In the sense that what if it's not just one person, but it could be a couple of different people, and I think we could like limit it to 2 or 3. I don't think we'd want to go more than that. That way, because I don't know, that's not a necessity, but I think that it would help with some of the different touching on a lot of the bases that the game has where you get a certain experience depending on your play style. If we try to showcase one character doing all these things, that might make it seem a lot more campy in a bad way.
I see what you mean. Yeah, we don't want it to be a jack of all trades.
Right.
Let me throw this at you. I think having more than one character, move to the farm is going to soil that, new guy in town.
It's your grandpa's farm.
Well, not even not even that, but just like I feel like so many of those Hallmark movies are like, thank you. That's not distracting. Where it's like, Betsy lived in a small town, but when the dark stranger came moved into town, things got a lot hotter.
The dark stranger.
Well, yeah, but it's like there's always one character. If you have more than one, I feel like that's going to dilute the efficacy of the romance and the main character plot. What we can do instead,
I'm fine with that. I'm actually fine with that. The way that
what we can do to address what you say, because I agree with you. that'd be weird if he's like, I'm going mining today, and then he's like, I'm going fishing today. I'm going farming today.
We could reference that. I feel like, but that'd be way too campy. I think we could throw it in as a nod. I don't think.
What would be more realistic and more, I think, kind of charming is if we decide one route for our main character to take, which I think probably would be farming, because it is a farm. And then we give other characters that expertise more than they do in the game. Well, so like Willie obviously is going to be your big fisher. I think Leah is your obvious forager.
And
Clint is your, or as I call him, Clump. Clump is your miner, and you have the eye patch guy as the combat. Maybe they can have like a little friendship going on, and then so you can have all these things, and maybe our main character can join them on adventures and stuff. But at the end of the day, he or she is really going back to farming, because that's they live on a farm.
It was given.
That's what you do.
You can't do anything else. I'm sorry. Monster spawns have not been enabled on this farm. You do nothing else.
Unless we give them the monster farm.
How are we gonna start this movie? Monster farm.
I think
Grandpa gave you a monster-infested farm.
Grandpa tried to kill you.
What do you do?
I think something Hallmark doesn't do that we're going to have to do, for good or ill, is include all the more fantastical elements of Stardew Valley.
Well, and
which is not very Hallmarky, but no. I think we must have it.
And it will keep with the feel-good themes, because once again, if we play into the theme that already exists in the game of nature versus corporate innovation.
Yeah.
How were you raised? By monsters on a farm.
Grandpa tried to kill me.
Grandpa tried to kill me. Then we're going to have things like the Junimos, and we're going to have things like the wizard and all that. The wizard is a key character. So,
is he really?
Mm-hmm. See, that's the whole thing. If you play the game a certain way, he's not.
I got to a 10 with the wizard, and I never had a single cutscene with him.
How did you complete the community center?
No, I did not.
Well, there you go.
A
lot of things are gated. You have to be a friend with it. Yeah, you have to do community center. You got to do this. I'm playing a playthrough right now with Kaylee, and we are just doing everything. We are just doing absolutely everything. And normally this would take several weeks, several months to get all this done.
Take some time.
Because you play, you only play for like 30 minutes to an hour a day, if that even. Nope, we found a dupe glitch. I'm gonna include a dupe glitch in this movie.
You found a dupe glitch, or you looked up a dupe glitch once you ran out of patience?
I watched a video and I said, I'll forget this thing.
Did you specifically
I won't actually do it? And then
did you specifically search dupe glitch?
No, I watched a YouTube video and it was showing it, and I said, "Oh, that's cool. Hopefully, I don't let that ruin how I play in the future."
And he said, "No." Nope.
And it immediately ruined how I played in the future.
Turn it on. Here we go.
The good thing is you have to have two consenting partners to dupe. So
there you go.
If you and I ever play,
I would not dupe. I will hold you, as I normally do. All right, so let's decide two things. Number one, let's talk about our main character. And number two, let's decide on the partner. Okay. And three, so this isn't a thing we want to decide on. The final choice. The romance. I do want a scene at the end, that big where the music swells and they hug and kiss. I want that at the community center. I think that'd be really nice. Like maybe it's when they complete it or something.
That could be
so
the
it could
whole
be
thing.
Kind of parallel.
What if we have that just be the direct point of the movie? The direct point of the movie is Jojo has come, is starting to take away, and the only way to build it back is to bring back the community that the small town has. I'm going to suggest something you might not like. What if we make the Valley of Stardew a little bigger than it is?
There's like 10 buildings. I think we can make it a little bigger.
We make it a little more. We have these other people that you don't see as much. Like they exist in the town, and there's the implication that everybody knows
just
everybody else.
Background extras.
But there's more characters. that don't really play any role, but it's the cast of Stardew Valley would be the
Right.
main characters.
Yeah.
So when you
And
see,
probably not all of them.
not all of them, but like, well,
'Cause
obviously
there's,
you'd see
like, 20
Jody
of
and
them.
Vincent and Caroline and all those other characters.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
you would actually have a scene with Pierre. You'd have a scene with Willie. You'd have a scene,
Right.
or multiple scenes with Clint and Clump.
Yeah.
So,
It's the same person.
yeah, I'm sorry, Clint the Clump.
There you go. Yeah, but you wouldn't have a scene with Jeremy, the toll booth guy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy the toll booth guy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
I stop Pam every day on her way to the desert, and you don't know me.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm watching.
Oh, crud. I forgot. There's like 3 areas now that are outside of the valley that are a part of the game. I don't know if we
I haven't gotten there. No, I don't even think we go to Calico Desert.
No.
I think we keep it in the valley in Pelican Town. But yeah, I think
Keep
maybe
it in the valley. Keep it in the family.
Hidden Valley Ranch. I think we set maybe, I don't know, it's gonna be hard to have scale. Maybe like 150 people.
Sure.
I don't know,
The rough estimate, like
a couple dozen buildings.
Something
Just where it's not like, how is this town sustainable?
Exactly. Like it's like there's actually, you could see there's infrastructure. However, people have, as with time, as with innovation, people have stopped taking from the land because there is no farm, there is no means of providing themselves with stuff. That's where Jojo comes in. So Jojo has come in and said, hey, we will provide you with all this stuff at a cheaper rate than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I like the idea of? I just thought about this. What if we have it to where one of the initial things that happens in the film is you basically meet Pierre and he's got like nothing in his shop but seeds.
I was actually gonna say something like that. Like we're good. I think we need to stretch it to the extreme where like everyone's going to Jojo Mart.
Right. But because there's nothing local that is bringing any kind of product in. It all has to be imported in.
And even and what there is, I mean, just compared to Jojo Mart's both quantity and prices, it's just incomparable. Because Pierre's prices are more expensive. And obviously this is a poorer town. So it's, people want to get savings where they can.
What kind of character do we want to make Pierre? Do we want to make him a little greedy, or do we want him, and not greedy in the sense of he wants money, but like he's thinking, I can't lower my prices this low because it's impossible for me to keep business if I do this. Yeah. Or are we wanting him to think like, man, I should really help this small town, whatever it takes, even if that does mean.
I think we just kind of make him more extreme of what he is, where he's just kind of desperate and unhappy.
Yeah.
Where we really focus on the like Jojo Mart is taking over this town. And it could almost be, I mean, you have the tiny little Pelican town, and then you have big Jojo Mart, big box store off in the building. And so,
I like that. It's like, it's so far, it's so big that you can see it from a distance. It's got that haze over it, Like
yeah. In the morning, the sun's blocked by it at its sunrise. I think we have to, I don't want to make, I do like the, obviously, save revitalize the community, as you said.
Right.
And I think Pierre's going to play pretty large, as little as I like Pierre, I think Pierre's going to play a fairly large role. Yeah. But I don't want to make our main character solely responsible for the farm or for the stock in Pierre's store.
No, I think the implication would be our character kind of revitalizes not only with some actual product. I think that's going to be a big point where the character is going to bring product to Pierre at some point.
Right.
And that kind of showcases people are actually trying. There's people who are willing to do this. And then we could imply that there are other farms that just didn't see any need. Like, it was like, if I, it's kind of a stupid thing to say, but this is very much in Hallmark films. This is very much in feel-good movies, which is, well, if nobody else is going to do it, I won't do it. And so then you have that one person who steps up and does it. And now everybody else is like, I can do it now.
Well, we can literally have it be supply and demand where, you bring your product to Pierre. It's really good. You got some good radishes. People are, Caroline or Jody or someone says, "Oh, I had those radishes," and then word starts getting around. People start going to Pierre's store for those good radishes.
Right.
Creates a demand that you can't fulfill yourself. Starts bringing in those other farmers.
I think that would also
slowly
be really good,
yeah.
is bring in the farm hands, because then that would be reference once again to the other aspects of the game that got added in, but also using those characters that don't have names, don't have a reason to be there. Hey,
right
now come on, Jeremy, toll booth guy, you're a farmer now.
So it's not that you are solely responsible for the general store stock. It's just that you are the catalyst, I guess.
Yeah. You are the Iblis trigger.
Right. You're the chrono trigger. And maybe we can say, or we can have the reason for that be, because like at the beginning of the game, you work for Jojo Corp.
Yes.
Company. Corporate, whatever. Jojo.
Jojo.
And on his bizarre adventure. Yeah. And so it's like, why would I want to revisit, something that made me so unhappy in the past? So I'm going to go to Pierre, give him these radishes. Caroline's going to eat them. She's going to say, these good.
Give him these rabbitses.
tasty rabbitses.
Okay, so rabbitses.
Should we talk about a main character or the romantic partner first? What do you think?
Let us try and define a little bit about this main character. I know I think I know the route you want to go.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
I think you want to make him a female.
Okay, I didn't, but that's fine.
Oh, okay. I was it's fine. I'm fine with whatever.
Listen, my personal biases are coming in because I obviously want the partner to be Leah, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't care.
Did you go after Leah?
Every time, baby.
I would after Penny. Shows where my standards are.
I married Penny my first time because I felt bad for her.
I'm the person who was like, wow, I really kind of like these characters, but I don't necessarily like the artwork of them. And so then I got a mod that changed the portraits for Maru, and I was like,
Maru's is not great. Maru's default art is not great.
I could see myself going for Maru now.
Emily's is also not great. It's all right.
It's all right.
But I mean, we
Emily
can make him
supposed to look the way she is. I think she's
supposed to be. Emily's weird as hell. I don't like it
intentionally.
She freaks me out. She did a dance for me in her room, but I was like, I'm very uncomfortable. I did not sign up for this. And then she named her bird after me, and I was like, this is too far. You go too far this time.
You've done it this time.
You've really done it this time.
When you named the bird after me, that was the last straw.
The dance was one thing, but the bird and Haley was home. Come on. Okay. I mean, yeah. Let's make her a female. Cool. So we know our character.
The only reason why I say female, just so you and the audience both know this, that's like every Hallmark movie ever is. Woman goes into town, and you've got these bachelors and bachelorettes. Why not? But you've got these bachelors who are just kind of this pinnacle of, wow, isn't this the fantasy that you wanted, is to have all these guys who would very much like to marry you?
I think we could play with that. One of those things you mentioned where, she goes and she's got fruit and she sees Shane, he's a handsome guy. And, she walks up to him. He's like, get away from me. I hate you.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay.
If we play it, like if we make her character, all right, I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to get crucified, but I'm going to make a statement. I think if we make this character like most females that actually play Stardew Valley, would be going down a fun route with that one. Which is...
What does that mean?
Would just make them...
Yeah, go ahead.
A little geeky, a little socially awkward. Maybe...
So like gamers.
Gamers
so
in
like
general.
So like a gamer.
Socially awkward, geeky, maybe a little bit extroverted, but not in the right way. Like you're going to overstep your boundary and then realize it and then immediately regret it, The
only problem I have with that, and maybe this is just what little Hallmark movie I've seen, is like, look, Hallmark is a more traditional. It's a more traditional movie. They're not pushing any boundaries. The female main character is always like very female. You know, like she's like a she. I don't feel like a female character in a Hallmark movie would be getting down and dirty with these radishes. You know, planting them and stuff.
And the reason, well, and that's just it.
And I don't think a geeky girl would. I don't hate the socially awkward part,
right?
But I don't think geeky is the right word. I don't even know if geeky is the word you were looking for.
It was the word I was looking for, but it's not the correct word. Because the more I think about it, the more I think if we do it where we make this kind of socially awkward character, we could make them. We could make him a fish out of water in a lot of ways.
I do like, I like the socially awkward.
A lot of people, I think them being socially awkward is not only just their personality, but it's also the fact that they've lived in the corporate world or in the city.
And they live in the city, I believe. Yeah, I don't know if it's ever stated, but
it's shown that they work in a big office, and there's a skeleton in one of the booths, and that really makes you question a lot.
That's Jeremy.
He before he became the toll booth, he worked also for Jojo.
Did I not mention Jeremy's a skeleton?
Come on, guys. No, he comes on the farm.
He's Sans' third brother or second brother.
Sans' third brother. Sans has 7 brothers, including but not limited to Jeremy,
Papyrus,
Skeletor.
What's the one in Undertale?
Sans.
No, the other one.
Papyrus.
Is it really Papyrus?
Yeah, Sans and Papyrus, the 2 fonts.
Wait, are you serious?
You've never played Undertale?
Wait, who's the guy in Medieval? That's who I meant.
Fortescue. Daniel Fortescue.
So not Papyrus. I thought his name was Papyrus. I got my skeletons confused.
Well, don't confuse Jeremy. Okay, what if we
Dark Soul skeleton.
What?
Dark Soul skeleton.
That's not the name.
He's a skeleton in Dark Souls.
Okay, fine. Stalfos.
All right, we need one more. I gotta look at my games. What is that? Oh, Resident Evil. That's not gonna work.
Ghost Rider.
He's the youngest, actually. Believe it or not. No one would have thought, but he's actually the youngest.
He's still got some of his skin.
Yeah, he's still got his hair.
All right, so not overly effeminate, then, is what you're saying. So we don't make her this timid.
Well, just because, I feel like that's the Hallmark go-to, and that doesn't seem to gel well with someone who would, be a farmer, right? Yeah. We could have a scene where, we could, if we change her to be more earthly and more dirty. You know what I mean? Where
I know what you mean. And I also know what you want.
She's like, I really want to change. I want, I'm sick of this corporate life.
You know what?
I want to provide for myself.
I actually really like that idea. We give her we give obviously her own development, which is the biggest part. Which is she has seen what the corporate world has done, and this is such a breath of fresh air to her that she says, I want to make this work.
Right. It's going to be hard.
I don't want to be reliant. I think there's going to be a point in the middle where she's really looking at Jojo and she's like, I could go back. At least then.
Maybe, maybe like in the game, she messes up the dates. It turns into summer. Obviously it's not going to be a switch, but all her plants die or something. And it's like, oh, I just lost a couple $1,000 of profit.
Right. Well, not only that, but also if we play it in 2 ways. So one of the funny things that happens in both Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon that always, I get it because it's a game, but it never made sense to me was your character never needs to eat. Your character never needs to go to the bathroom, and your character has to sleep, but it's at a very strict schedule.
Norman Reedus had a pee. Norman Reedus used the bathroom.
Norman Reedus had to talk to Conan O'Brien.
He was wearing an otter hat. It's very weird. It's weird.
But the only reason I bring that up is because I think if you think about the actual hardships of being on a farm, especially if you're having to provide for yourself on that farm, we can imply that Grandpa left just enough money to survive a couple of months, and the rest is up to, starting your farm, starting your crops. You got to go ahead and make a crop that's going to start producing and, sell it so that you can, because in reality, you're not just going to make a thing of strawberries and eat strawberries for the month. You're going to make a thing of strawberries, sell at least
most of them,
2/3 of them, if not all of them, and then buy what you need, with that. And I think that would be the whole premise would be, Pierre needs something to sell. And then he's able to get other resources in that you can buy from him, and the rest of the community can buy from him. As well as selling your strawberries.
Right. Let me throw this in real quick. So this is obviously going to be your downturn Act 2, where everything goes wrong. What if it's not so much that she mistimes it or whatever? It's neglect. Maybe she's off hanging out with this romantic partner for so long. That something happens and the plants die, crows get them, or something tragic where and it's not, I think there's enough where she can provide for herself, but it doesn't fill that demand that we've established.
Right. So we can state that she has enough now to keep living there, to survive.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's more of a social thing than like a personal thing where it's like people, and maybe that can be represented. People start going back to Jojo Mart. Because they're like, well, we don't have those good strawberries.
Here's an idea.
I'm out!
And this does kind of play a little bit into how the game actually functions. What if we make this movie over the course of 2 years?
2 years?
The reason why I say 2 years is that way we can have a first year where we see, and this is going to be a little rushed. I don't know if there'd be a way to actually get this to work better. But the reason why I say that, we could even have the second year go by a lot faster. But the reason why is I want to showcase in the first year, there's going to be a lot of failure and there's going to be a lot of trial and error. But in the second year, we show a lot more progress. I probably wouldn't say that it has to be that the movie takes course over 2 years. But I think we should show a second year where there is a lot of progress. We could even say the movie in the end, like at the end of like the third quarter.
I love how you keep using quarter. We've done 20 episodes and you keep using the word quarter. Thank you.
At the end of the second third, everything is kind of looking up. It's helping. It's getting whatever.
Okay, that would be before Act. It's fine. I'm gonna send you a book on movie structure.
I have it. It's called Save the Cat. I read it. It's a good one. It is called Save the Cat. Look it up. It's a good book. I'm not talking about Hero's Journey here, because this is a Hallmark movie.
I'm not talking about Hero's Journey either. I'm just talking about movie structure. But I know what you're saying. You're saying before things go bad, things are good.
No. I'm saying after everything is solved, or when everything starts to get solved. What is that to you? When things just got bad, now they're getting better. They're not entirely better because we're not at the end of the movie yet, but things are getting better. We're getting.
Is this after what we talked about, where people start going back to JoJo and all that stuff?
Yeah, this would be after that.
That would be beginning of Act 3. Yeah.
Okay, then that would be beginning of Act 3. That would be when we showcase the successful year, is what I'm saying. Is then it would be kind of a thing where we get to showcase a cat in the room.
Did a cat just vomit? What was that?
That was exactly.
Here's my argument against the 2-year structure.
Okay.
Is I think, obviously, like you said, things are going to be hard at the beginning. When our character is first starting out farming, because she doesn't know how to farm.
Right.
And then I think she's going to get more skilled. She's going to get better. And maybe that Act 2 downturn could be those high stakes. It's the last harvest before winter.
Right? Yeah, and then that would be really crucial for not only herself but the town.
Right? Yeah, because as any good farmer knows, winter is just the worst time because you can't do anything you want. You just have to sit around for 20 days, 28 days.
You can go mining. You can,
Yeah, but
you
I'm
can
a
go kill
farmer.
monsters. Look, no. If you're a real farmer, what you do is when it hits winter, you go to those caves and you start killing skeletons.
Goes kill Sam's brother.
All 7 of them.
All 7 of them. There's only 7.
Can't kill Ghost Rider.
It's possible. But so like it was a really crucial harvest, and so I think I don't know. The problem I have with the time thing is that maybe we could show it at the very end, like 1 year passes
I don't
after
have
everything's
anything
resolved.
against that. I also think that now that you've explained making it more, putting a time limit on it for the sake of, hey, you have to do this because it's going to reach this point.
Right, yeah.
Otherwise, the only question I have then is if you mess up right before then, what's the upturn?
The upturn is going to be, well, so the downturn isn't necessarily the harvest, right? Because like we said, she still has enough to live on. But it's the sense of community. People start going back to Jojo Mart. Because like this was gonna be a big harvest. This was gonna get the people through the winter.
Well, this was
and now they don't.
It was gonna reinvigorate the local economy.
Right. So. It was. I mean, it was gonna be kind of the final. It was gonna be the roof on the harvest house, if you will. And now that they don't have that, people start going back to Jojo Mart. So what I'm imagining is during winter, we have our main character really down and dour, and the thing that brings them all back is the revitalization of the community center.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, and then we can have the big romantic moment and all that good stuff, and then we can have the year passes and see how they're doing a year from now. Maybe they got married. Maybe they got a kid.
That actually would be a cool idea. Let
Maybe
me run this by you then. Yeah, and another kid.
And another kid. And another wife. They married Krobus.
You can do that.
I know.
You can do that.
I was going to, but then I saw how expensive it was, and I was like, oh, it can't be worth it, Krobus.
But with the dupe glitch.
With the dupe glitch, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, no. Still not worth it.
What you got?
Let me run this by you. So we've got the movie starts. Your character, the main character, she's working at Joja. I think we can even flesh that out a little bit.
Let's call her Shirley.
Shirley.
I know.
She goes to the temple of Yoba. So she's Shirley Temple.
That
didn't
good.
work. It's pretty good.
Did you read that? Did you read that somewhere? So, that was such a good joke.
I'm just that funny.
He's that talented, ladies and gentlemen.
So we've got. I'm very dark. I don't know why this turned off.
Master of Lake Town.
Master of Darktown.
Master. There you go.
Master of Duckburg. Okay. Now I'm too bright. All right. So we show that Jojo, I think we give her a position, kind of that cubicle position, and we just show kind of the hardships of that. We show the wear and tear of that, but we also show these executives, like we show some like Jojo executives or somebody, and they're just like, like we could literally make them Mr. Moneybags kind of characters.
Kind of evil over the top.
Yeah. Like
what's the guy's name in Jojo Mart? The bow tie guy.
Maurice,
I think. He could almost be less evil than them. Less evil seeming.
Oh yeah. I think that would be kind of the funny part, would be these big guys like who run everything. They're just absolutely terrible. He aspires to be one of them.
Yes, but he's not quite evil.
He's not there yet.
He needs to be a little more
if
evil.
If his plans do get foiled, I feel like he might have a bit of a redemption arc potentially. I like him enough to give him redemption.
I know. Well, we'll see. We'll work it out.
I say we could do two things here. If we want to set up Maurice as a bad guy, like for like a bad guy of the film, then what we do is we basically have it set up to where the Jojo Mart has been there for a while, supposedly, by the time your character is there, because Jojo has kind of expanded. But what if we say that Maurice is specifically sent there as a manager because he has a specific set of skills that would allow him to start kind of converting the community into basically a what's it called when you start work, a foundation for other Joja products.
I think you'd be very evilly
Ventures.
Charismatic.
Yeah.
Persuasive. What if we do so in the game, obviously you can kind of destroy the community center by donating. What if instead of him being one away, he's an undeterminate number, and maybe with that Act 2 downturn, we can see it's getting closer to that being a reality.
Yeah, and then that's when it would get to that point where it's like, if one more like you have the scene where Maurice he's like looking at her, he's very evil, and he's like, one more person buys a membership, I can get that community center and use it, and we can even make it so it's used as a warehouse in the game. I think we can do better than that. I think we could like turn it. My real thought
gas
is
station.
Oil prices will skyrocket.
Oil.
We dig for. I think we should give Stardew Valley a resource that is magical. Not a MacGuffin, not like a...
No, I know where you're going with this.
Not like an ore or something. Because, I mean, we could imply that maybe the Iridium mine is really important.
Just something that would be beneficial to Jojo Mart.
Something that would not only be beneficial to Jojo Mart, but if we want to make them over the top... So there's two routes there. Route 1 goes away from the Hallmark a good bit, which is make them an over-the-top villain that is after something to do with the Dynamo. Route 2 is they don't care about that, and they just want a resource that's there. But if they if that resource is to be affected incorrectly, like if that resource were to get abused, it would damage the Junimo and the magic and everything else. And so that gives our character who finds that out more of a reason to keep them away.
I don't hate that. Let me rebuttal or have a rebuttal though, if you will.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I think what would just be more effective is what it is in the games, and it's just greed. It's just like you say, the nature versus the big corporation.
Yeah.
I don't think while the magical resource is a almost amplification of it, I don't think it necessarily. I think it could be as simple as just they just want this space to have more soulless lighting warehouses or grocery stores or stuff. It really is just dependent on how big of a presence we want the Junimo to have. It's how big a presence we want them to have, which we have not discussed, which we can, and then I think we'll revisit that the goal of Jojo Mart based on that.
Yeah.
But let's finish fleshing out our main character. I think to your point of the executives, I think it'd be fun if we can bring them back at the end. For whatever reason, maybe because Jojo Mart's getting so close, they say, we're gonna break ground on the new warehouse.
Yeah,
or whatever,
whatever it is. Well, yeah,
yeah,
whatever it is.
And one of the executives comes down, and they kind of have another a parallel confrontation with the main character, like you do in the first one, or at the beginning of the movie. But at the beginning of the movie, our main character, Shirley, I forgot her name, was going to be more submissive, I guess, because it's the big boss. Whereas here, with the backing of the community, she would be more assertive, more dominant,
more offensive. Yeah,
right, more offensive. Starts calling them names.
Here's an
insults them. Yeah.
If we make it just the greed route, which we can still work with the Junimo, what I'm saying is there would be multiple pools. What if we make Stardew Valley So obviously a valley is a space between mountains.
That's correct.
And what if there
historically
there is a mountain pass that is not very easy to traverse, and Stardew Valley is this city that is kind of in between I don't know what direction we're talking about, and I'm going to be corrected by somebody about this, and that's fine. It goes east.
There's routes east and west out of town.
Right, exactly. We hear about, and if you go north, you're at one of the mountains, and then you go south, you're at the shore. So I don't know I don't know what the geography would be, but we hear about other cities. We hear about Zuzu City. We hear about obviously the desert. We hear about the Empire, which is like supposed to be this Middle Eastern.
I forgot about
group. Yeah, there's like a lot of deep stuff in there.
All that weird stuff.
What if we have it to where Stardew Valley is important, not from magical or anything like that, but it's still important geographically because it's going to be something that if they put a warehouse there, it's going to be financially viable.
They could
so we
turn
can
it
keep
into
it
a distribution center.
Exactly, and it can go out to all these
Okay.
other areas. So what if we do that? If we say that it's just a crucial point, we could imply that they've been trying to get it for a while, but the community had been strong for years prior or something.
Yeah, and there could be some sort of local governmental reason, like the mayor is saying no. Mayor Lewis is saying no, but if the people,
no.
if enough of the people, sign petition or donate or whatever, they can overrule them, because they don't have like a city council or a board of supervisors or anything.
Right.
But it could literally be just like if enough people say, yeah, I'd like to, I want more Jojo Mart, then they can overrule the mayor saying no. That's democracy, baby.
Yeah, that's how.
In its purest form. Okay, let me just ask you this. In that case, what was them putting a Jojo Mart in Stardew or in Pelican Town? Was that means to an end, or did they discover this after they put the Jojo Mart there? Like, Dad, did they always picture Pelican Town as a distribution center?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say. I think at the beginning we showcased that there's like this idea that Jojo has gotten so big that there is a store in every town at the least, if not multiple.
Right.
It is Walmart. It is the Walmart.
That's realistic.
Of that. And so the intentions at that point are just greed. It's just, hey, we've got all these stores. We make it easy for everybody to get what they want, and we make tons of money because everybody comes to us kind of idea. And what if we you're not going to like this idea because it does change it, but what if we make Shirley a secretary or someone who would be close enough to kind of witness this conversation so that it's just not out of the blue, like the audience doesn't get taken away to see it.
How about instead of secretary, we make her, because I think manager's too high, but in charge of distribution,
right?
She's not in charge. Sorry, she works like in the distribution. She works in distribution.
So she would be here to see this conversation. I think that
maybe she's working on another similar city.
Ooh. What if she has the same? There's so many routes we could take. Because I was gonna say, what if she's working and she's getting burnout, and then they see that and they're like, "Oh, okay. Well, we'll give you a new position," and it turns out to be a position like Maurice's. So then she could get introduced to that character, and then that could be. I don't know. That builds up too much.
I don't think we need to bring. I don't think we need to bring
much time.
Yeah. What about? What about like the almost the catalyst for her being like, "This sucks, I'm leaving," other than Grandpa dying, is because I think we could
quit my job at Walmart when Grandpa died.
I think we could have Grandpa be dead for a while, and
he has been dead in the story.
Okay. So it's just this kind of lingering thing that she can go anytime.
So in the story,
he dies.
So we keep that. He says, "You take this letter when the hardships of life or something get you down.
Yeah,
open it."
Perfect. So what we do is what kind of the catalyst is like something happens. She's working in distribution. Something happened. They get the okay to build a distribution center in another city. Another very small town, and everyone's cheering. Everyone's like, "Yeah, we got him!" And she's just like, "Oh my god, this sucks."
Yeah,
I hate this. And like we can show her
she has that more human aspect as opposed to all these other people. It's like, wait a minute, yeah,
right. Well, I mean that happens. You have that kind of what's the word? You get in the crowd mentality, and then you tie that to greed, and people will be like,
well, and then all of a sudden, if you take a step back, you realize you're like, wait a minute, this ain't right,
right. And that can be exactly what happens. And then, literally, next scene, she grabs the letter, pops on the bus, goes to Pelican Town.
I think that'd be perfect. Yeah. All right, so we start up. I think we start up with Grandpa's scene. We start up with Grandpa getting the letter, or we have. What do you think?
I think we start. I think we need to.
And then she looks at the letter.
I think we need to show her at home. Everything before she goes to the valley. I want to be very stark, very kind of soulless. I'm talking grays, harsh lighting.
Yeah.
Even her apartment, metal. I think we show her at her apartment. She's getting ready for work. I don't think she'd have a uniform because if she's at the corporate office, but name tag or whatever. That we show she works for
formal clothing that is not comfortable or
right.
Here's an idea.
Awful.
What if the there's no uniforms, but just the formal clothing that everybody under JoJo wears just looks stupid? Because remember, Maurice had like that big tie and the freaking like black. What if it's just the stupid formal clothing?
It's like very like she has big shoulder ribbons or bows or whatever. Yeah,
and that's the style of the city.
I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, and I think we show her like eating cereal out of a gray bowl and just like being like,
this is
soulless.
Yeah.
And then I think then we kind of show the letter. Maybe it's off to the side on the countertop.
In the game you open up a drawer. Somebody edited it. You open up the drawer. There's a gun. with the hardships of life have gotten you down.
It's a real quick game. It's over quick.
Starting done.
And then I don't know. My question is, if we show that she's thinking about it at the beginning of the movie, why hasn't she gone? Is she just not convinced yet? Like, why is she staying?
I think we could easily answer that by creating a reason for her to stay that she wouldn't have considered before. But then does that create something that she would have to come back to?
Let's have it be something like dumb that doesn't matter. Like,
but it would matter something in that a first world sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So like, once she finally has that moment of realization, she could say, "Screw this." Like maybe it's like I gotta make rent, or I gotta something that doesn't matter when you go live on a farm. I gotta get this car payment. I got
or it even could be a goal. Like her goal in her mind would be to make something of herself in the city. And we could kind of showcase, not, this is a little bit off the idea, but it's a lot easier to make something of yourself in a place where there's where the area is not flooded with everybody else trying to do the same thing.
Right.
So when you're in a big city, if she's trying to work up that corporate ladder, we could even imply that maybe she is initially. She's trying to make something of herself there or anywhere, but just it's not possible. Just
why I say like the rent and stuff is because I want it to almost seem like how like in Star Wars Episode 4, like Luke can't every time Luke's like, "Can I go to join the rebellion?" Owen's like, after next harvest. Yeah, next.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, after
it'd be something like she's like, "All right, I just gotta get, I gotta pay off the apartment and then I'm going." Or I gotta, something like that where that doesn't really matter.
I think we can even make it a little bigger. Like we could say the person, we could say the land person is just like, you gotta, it's like, you can't just leave. You gotta, we gotta find a next tenant or something, or whatever.
I think it needs to be I think it needs to be a personal thing.
Oh, you think that? Okay.
Don't bring in extra factors.
So that she would just be basically having her own opinion about this. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it could literally be like, I'm just going to save up once I have enough for a new car. Something like that.
Okay, I like that a lot because the rent thing seems kind of iffy. Like it has a few.
Yeah, rent's not great.
But I get what you're going for, and I think if we'll just say car for now, but the implication is some first world luxury that isn't needed.
And not necessary for her.
I think it'd be funny if we make it the focal point a car, and of course her time in the valley, she doesn't use a car at all.
Right. Yeah, I like that. She uses a horse.
She does, because you get a horse.
She does. Yeah, I think I do like that can be her overarching goal. Perhaps is make something out of herself. Mm-hmm. It's just so vague that I don't think it would work.
The other idea that I had that would take too much setup was relationships. So what if she's going after relationships in the city and she wants to stay because there's people she wants to be friends with, but they don't want anything to do with her? And when she's finally down and once again, that would take way too long to set up. That's the only reason I don't want to go with it.
I think we can make it quick.
Set up these people. Well, you have to set up these people, showcase that she wants to please them, that she wants to be their friend, showcase that they don't want that, and then give her some reason to turn around and say, well, great. Now,
Let me tweak it a little bit. What if it's not that people don't like her. It's that their interests are not the same as hers. So I'm imagining, she goes to work. She's working at her desk. One of her coworkers comes out and said, "Hey, man, we were at the club last night. It was bumping. Jeremy got, not Jeremy. He's a skeleton.
Jeremy can't get drunk. We tried.
Luke drank so much he puked in the bathroom, man. It was crazy." Right. And like, clearly that's not something Shirley's into, but that's like all these people care about. So it's like, so she doesn't have friends because of that.
Right.
Because she doesn't like partying super hard and, raging.
I like that. I like the idea of that.
Coward.
That's why a Shirley Temple is non-alcoholic.
We just show that nothing about the city other than greed. The only thing keeping her there is greed and money.
Well, and when she finally has luxuries, yeah.
Right. And when she finally, has enough, she after that big distribution celebration, I think she leaves. And I think we can get that done in, 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. All right. So
she's out. She's out of there.
She's there. How do we showcase the grandpa thing then? Do we?
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah.
We could do a flashback.
I'm okay with the flashback.
There's probably better ways to do it, but I'm fine with flashback or voiceover or something like that. Very quick, obviously.
Okay.
So it's not going to be like a super drawn out thing.
We could easily do voiceover, I think, if we do.
I don't think we bring Grandpa back as a ghost, though.
Really?
I don't think we bring him as a ghost. Yeah. No,
okay.
No.
Okay. I think we could have a nod.
That brings it too many.
At the end, she looks up. She's happy. She looks at the sky, and there's like a twinkling
we see him
star,
in the sky,
or something. It is me, Grandpa.
You know this from the Dowell episode. Once we start bringing in ghosts and souls, it really just starts messing the whole thing up. All right.
Okay.
So
I think we just do it like this, and if you don't like it, change it.
Hit me. Yep.
We have it where we showcase her still in her thought of those first world luxuries. She is, experiencing life. We see that things are not going that well for her, but she can have a calendar
on a wall. 2 more payments till I get that new car.
She's keeping her head up. She goes in. We could even have her explaining either through exposition or narration. I don't think those would be the best, or we just showcase it.
That she's very unhappy.
Trying to get these friends, and it's not working.
Honestly, I think she's at the point where she doesn't try anymore.
The reason why I do want at least to showcase the friends a little bit, even if it's to not try, even if it's just like, hey, these other people are like, these are your only options for friends in the city.
Yeah.
And they don't have the same interests, because then once she gets out to the valley.
Right, yeah. Obviously, I like that a lot.
You see somebody like freaking Elliot who's just like, oh, I'm so different. I'm so weird. I'm a writer and I live at the beach. Hello.
Okay, yeah. Remember, I think she wouldn't go after friends at Stardew Valley because I feel like they would come to her, which is a good thing. Because
No. I know, I get that, but I'm just saying we show the implication.
So it's more passive.
If we make her introverted, which this is just character definition, doesn't matter at the end. If we make her introverted, then all that means is that maybe she's avoiding it strictly because of the not strictly because of the lack of shared interests, but also because she doesn't want anything to do with those people, really. And then it just makes it worse. But she gets more open to people when, they're nicer to her, when they come up and there's more of the focus. You're staring right into my soul. I don't like that one.
Sorry, I was thinking. I know, I didn't blink for like 30
at the
seconds.
Camera more. Hello, audience. How are you doing? I'm blurry.
Well, you're too far down, so if I look at you, it's like I'm looking way down here. So
I'm in the same boat. Gotta look up.
I like that. We don't want to make her too introverted, but
no.
Maybe just like the city does to you, you get a little unfriendly. Not unfriendly, but like not
cynical?
Open to new, not open to new people super easily.
Okay,
would
we could have that translate into her initial start in the valley,
Yeah, where she's just this is literally what my friend did. He just kept to himself. Yeah. He went to the ocean every morning, he fished, he came back at night. But slowly, as he started talking to people, he started getting into it.
Yeah. Got into it.
Let me ask you this before.
Too.
Oh, just the one. Just Haley.
I fell. I'm back. Hi.
Let me before we move on, let me ask this. Would she have like a big character arc, or would her arc just like finally being someone that a community values? So it's a little more subtle.
I think her arc would not just be someone that the community values. I think her arc would be reaching a more...
Or just happiness, I guess.
Happiness is important. Okay. I see it as her development itself will be in letting go of the things, the first world luxuries, letting go of those, focusing on helping people and helping the situations. I think what her goals will be, though, will be getting those relationships, at least once she finds out that it's something that she can enjoy, and then also helping just the people. I don't want to say her goal is directly against Jojo, but that'd probably be a more defined goal.
That can come later. I don't think she'd go into it being like, I hate this. I'm gonna burn it down.
Yeah, I think that would come in. Yeah, she goes in with the intent to start a new life away from everything. Maybe that's when she just doesn't handle it properly. She's trying to farm. She's trying to do things. We're hearing from Pierre. It's like, hey, this is what the community needs. I got seeds for sale. You can buy seeds. Just to kind of force it that way, I think we should make it.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Jojo doesn't have seeds, or at least it's not something that she considers.
Well, I just think she would. Yeah, she would not go in because it's just like bad memories.
She'd go in at some point. She'd have to go in at.
She wouldn't. Her first instinct would not be to go to Jojo Mart. When she's looking for stuff, she'd go to the general store.
I think
she's
when
burnt
that
out.
Downfall was she doesn't have enough to bolster the economy. Maybe she even needs something, so she has to go.
Right, and maybe that's when Maurice really says, "We're one donation away.
We're what? One membership card away.
One membership away."
Lord Vader, we need one more membership card purchased.
So let's talk about our romantic partner.
We have 5 options, I think. 6.
I got the list here.
Oh, we got a list. Good.
So let's go through the males.
Before we do that,
okay,
I need you to entertain these people for one more second.
Okay, let's go through our lovely bachelors. I know who I'm thinking of. I'm curious if you have somebody that you're thinking of.
I'm going to go down the tier list of people I don't want and explain why.
Well, let me go through.
But I do want them to be important. But I want them.
Sure.
I want them to kind of be friends. Obviously,
give me a yay or nay as I go through them, and we'll deal with it from there. Alex.
No.
All right. Elliot.
No.
Harvey.
I'm gonna have to say no, but I like the idea of Harvey. I am open to the idea of Harvey.
All right, Sam.
Likely, very likely.
Really, Sebastian.
No.
So we both want Shane, is what I'm hearing. I think
Shane.
we both want Shane
because Shane is going to be the character who's going to have the most development. The rest of them
I agree. I 100% agree.
But Shane also works at Jojo too.
I think Shane doesn't like the community, and so that could be his arc.
Yeah,
he
doesn't care. Community man. I don't think he outright hates anybody. He hates everybody, indiscriminately. But that's just is
he Marnie's nephew or son?
Mm-hmm. Marnie's nephew.
He's their nephew.
Well, we don't know because we don't know who's related to who, honestly. Because everybody says, "Oh, they say nephew," but it could mean something else. I'm like, I don't. If it's what they said,
he's Mayor Lewis's son.
Sure,
son of the mayor.
Sure. They got something.
Okay, good.
On.
I'm glad we are both on the same Bachelor because I could feel it would get a little contentious if we had differing opinions.
No, I'm fine with Shane.
Yeah,
I
like
have
Shane.
the best arc. I think we should at least have scenes with all the other ones, at least showcasing their stereotype a little bit, because they do all kind of have a bit of a stereotype.
Well, we can have friends. We can have friends. I don't think Shirley would be looking for love, though.
Not initially.
Not initially, but once Shane starts warming up to her, once she starts giving him eggs.
I actually really like that. Shane could kind of seem like he's not that important and he's kind of mean and backing off, and she's becoming friends with all these other people. We could have it real, like mostly group settings, where they're all together hanging out because they're all in a similar age group, except for Shane. I mean, Shane is older. That age group, but Shane. No. I'm saying they're all hanging out because they're all friends and buddies.
Oh yeah,
but Shane's the only outcast of that. I think technically Shane is older in the story, but I don't.
Shane's like 30. Shane's really old. I guess Harvey's
like
probably
Harvey's
older.
Old too. Yeah, but
yeah,
when you've got
Sam's like 18.
If you go to like middle of nowhere Texas, and you grow up in like a small town, there's like 3 age brackets. You're either a senior citizen, a parent of some kind, or a child.
Or
there is like, it doesn't matter if you're 20 or you're 10, you're a child. Right. You're probably going to hang out with other children.
Yeah.
Especially if there is no one close to your age,
The good thing about Shane is there's a lot of stuff we could pull there. Alcoholism.
He's alcoholic.
He likes chickens.
He does like chickens. I forgot.
He does like chickens. Romance. I do like the scene. If they're introverted, if they're anything like me, a self-proclaimed introvert, is I imagine to see where she goes to the bar and you have everyone's hanging out and she's like, I don't know any of these people.
Just kind of goes to the back and Shane's sitting.
Who's by himself is Shane. Let me ask you this:
by that bear statue.
Here's Shane. He's
drinking.
The one question I have for Shane, because I think honestly we could just kind of copy the beats from his cutscenes.
Pretty much.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Is except the part where he almost dies. I don't like that part. I don't think we keep the part
where he almost kills himself.
That was crazy. I think that's a little too far.
Yeah, we can
Hallmark.
leave that out for the sake of the feel goodness of the film.
We could just have him be depressed. That's more cheerful.
We have him pull a gun.
What would be the moment where Shane stops being super unfriendly? What do you think? What would
be a common ground for them, for Shirley and Shane?
Jojo Mart. I don't think Shane likes Jojo Mart.
Yeah, I think that would be what if Shane kind of has this just kind of, I don't know what to call it other than a millennial hate for everything.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if he has that? And so, but because he works there, it's the only job that he can actually maintain to keep up with his.
No,
habits.
He doesn't like it.
No, but he has to work there because he drinks and he needs money to drink, And Marnie's not going to support his drinking by any means.
I think that scene would be. I think the only way he would open himself up is if he's just plastered. So maybe we could have a scene.
I think so too. And that's why he would share it that way. He would literally be like, oh, Marnie's not going to pay for it. I had to get a job. I hate this people.
Right.
I hate these. I don't like anybody. Yeah,
I imagine a scene. Shirley's doing something. She's out. It's late at night. She's out from her, out at the farm for whatever reason. We see Shane on that. She
was chasing a crocus.
Come here.
I'm gonna get you.
We see him on that bench that Penny always sits on. The one by the tree.
Yeah. Right outside the bar. Yeah.
The bench. We see him there just like this.
He is publicly intoxicated, but there is no police force.
I mean, it's like 2 p.m. in the morning. So and then he opens
say that again?
2 p.m. in the morning, 2 a.m. in the morning. Different time zone in Pelican Town.
Different time warp in Pelican Town.
Yeah. I think they open up, or he opens up, and then he's going to be a little awkward around her, but I think he would still be warmer to her after that scene. Just like when you usually say dumb stuff while you're drunk.
Just like when you usually shoot people in the foot.
It's a little awkward
when you're drunk.
But you get on.
Their toe grows back.
Let me say, since Shane's pretty easy, thankfully, and I'm glad we agreed here. Let me say this last thing, and then we can honestly kind of close the book on Shane. Because obviously you're going to fall in love. Come on. And they're going to kiss in the community center. But I think we show Shane really resistant to the whole idea of community. But then, when Shirley messes up the whole crop thing and we go to winter and all that stuff.
Oh, we could say
I think
Shane
we show
has his big break. Yeah.
I would say Shane, fixes up the community center or finishes fixing it or whatever. So it's like that big redemption arc.
What if he kind of does it? I think, what if instead of him doing it, he's the one that talks her into going the extra mile? Maybe there's like just a couple of things she needs to do left. And he's going to help.
I think it's stronger if he does it.
If he does it.
Well, I don't think we would have it be the bundles, personally, because that's a little weird.
I think we can.
I think it would just be literally like fixing it up.
I think we make it more tangible. We make it
like it's broken,
but we have
broken.
We have it be implied that a lot of stuff is going to be needed to get it the way it is, and you can't just go buy that stuff.
Right. Instead of Shane fixing it, but by himself, how about he rallies the community, and he sees that Shirley really wants this, and it could also be him kind of having his moment where he's like, I hate Jojo Mart,
but I hate all you people, but I hate Jojo Mart more.
Right. And then they have that big moment. They kiss in the community center, just like everyone wanted.
And then we get to see the thrive of the world. Okay. So let's run this.
I think when we do the year past, I think Jojo Mart's out of business.
Yeah, we get to see it abandoned. I would love to see kind of a. I kind of want to give Maurice a redemption, but I don't think it's necessary. The only reason why I'd want to is I kind of want to see him look like different, just like, well, now I'm not a greedy man. I'm just a man. I think honestly, now.
I think Maurice would just leave. Like he's only there.
Would.
He hasn't learned his lesson.
However,
the town proved too difficult to conquer, my lord.
So there's a mod that adds in new characters, new NPCs.
Yeah, Stardew
it turns that
extended or something.
So the woman that is in Jojo Mart behind the counter that you can't interact with.
Yeah,
it makes her a character.
Oh, that's good.
And it's kind of funny because I was like, because I was about to say we turn her into something. In the mod, her name's Claire, and I was like, we make Claire something, and then I was like, she's not real.
She's not real. And also, we already got Shane. I think that's enough.
Yeah, Shane is our JoJo defector.
Yeah, and all the workers, all the workers we could show just they're those kind of faceless extras just who populate the town.
And they can kind of rally with Shane.
I don't think they would. Yeah, I don't think they would be super loyal as well.
No.
All right, so that's the overarching thing. I think we could obviously play with all the romance stuff that Hallmark movies do, where it's like, oh, he didn't like her at first, but then
he did.
They fell in love. Yeah. Let's talk about some other stuff. Let's talk about friends,
family.
It's about family.
Valley.
What kind of friendships should Shirley create with whom?
I think all of the bachelors and bachelorettes that can be.
That's 12 people, Joseph. That's too many.
I said group meetings. I didn't say individual. I think we get to see these kind of typecast versions of them.
But I want her to have at least one or two close friends.
All right.
Leah, for instance.
Okay. I want you to explain to me what would she get? Well, what would she gain?
She epitomizes nature.
So
get off. She epitomizes nature. She is the most nature-y person in the valley.
She's the artist.
She's the artist, correct. And then we can have someone that you want. Who do you want?
No, I'm fine with Leah. I think it could just be Leah. Like, could be the main friend. I think we should, like I said, we should incorporate the other ones as their typecast.
Oh, I think we absolutely
their
should.
Undeveloped selves, which is just their stereotypes.
Yeah.
And just have them be part of the friend group in that way.
Well, I think she's gonna become friends with them, and maybe she pulls Shane into the friend group a little bit.
Yeah, I think towards the end, you're gonna, Shane opens up more to all this stuff. This sense of community.
How big of a presence would Mayor Lewis have, do you think?
Pretty big.
Is he pretty big?
I think
he's pretty big.
He's pretty big. He's getting bigger.
He's very large.
He's getting bigger by the day. I think his role would be exaggerated in the film a little bit. So as we see in the games, he's just kind of there. He's like, "Hey, I am the face of this town.
Hello, I'm the mayor.
Do I make any decisions? We don't know." I think we actually do create that democratic system where the people are. There's enough people to actually overpower what the mayor would choose to say or not.
Right. And I think he would obviously be anti Jojo Mart.
Oh yeah, and not to the extent where he's just going to be like, "Yeah, I don't want it here at all." It'd be the sense of, I see what it's starting to do, and I don't.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want the distribution.
But he's going to say exactly what he said in the game. He's going to be like, "Well, if the people want it, they'll have it, and maybe it's just the change that we need." And so we could say that he's kind of empathetic. He's just like, if it's what change is going to happen, I don't like it, but maybe it's what's going to. I hiccup all the time.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay.
And
obviously, he knew your grandpa, right?
Yeah.
So there could be some stuff there.
There could be. I also think that he's going to be. I think there should also be a town hall, not just go into the mayor's house, kind of thing. Yeah. I think there should be a town hall,
a physical building. Yeah.
We should also apply
not like a town hall, but like just somewhere that's not his house. They could be literally next to his house.
That would be funny too.
Yeah,
I was trying to reference this joke the other day, and somebody didn't get it. Did you ever watch Toy Story 2?
I've seen Toy Story 2.
You remember the guy that was played by the guy that played Newman in Seinfeld?
Yeah, he was Al.
Yeah, Al from Al's Toy Barn. I kept trying to use I have to drive all the way to work on a Saturday joke, and nobody got it.
I wouldn't have gotten it.
Do you remember it, though?
No.
Because he lived right across the street from his work.
Oh.
He's like, I gotta drive all the way to work on a Saturday. Drives right across the street, pulls in. He's there.
What happened to Newman? What's he up to these days? I wonder.
Newman.
He was in a lot of movies, and then he just kind of
Space Jam.
I know. He was in Jurassic Park.
He should be in Space Jam, too.
He might be, for all we know.
He will. I'll make it so.
Okay, so I feel like we have a very, very good structure. I don't know if we need to necessarily fix anything with it. Is there anything?
I think we just need to add. We just need to add because we got to add things. So far, we have a Hallmark movie. It's not Stardew Valley though. It's very much just
close enough, but we need close
enough. But we need to flesh it out. Here's where we go.
All right, let's talk Juminos.
Mysticism.
Juminos. Well. We have the scene where Mayor Lewis takes you to the community center. He says, "Oh, your grandpa used to love this place." Maybe he could be giving you a tour of the town.
Destroyed this place when he left. He was absolutely hammered.
He could be giving you a tour of the town.
Yeah,
and you go in there, you're looking around, you see, what's that? Little Jamito scurries away.
I like the idea of the mayor being really liked. And so we showcase that he's very down to earth. So we could say it once again separates it from the big city where there's still bureaucracy with, he has these things he has to do. He has to agree with the people. He has to do these, things. But he still has his truck. He makes he picks up all the deliveries. He does all these different things just because the fact that it's such a small town means his mayoral duties are this big.
He works like an hour a week. Yeah, it's not crazy.
Right.
How big? You're more familiar with the Jamitos than I am. What are you imagining with them? So we have the overarching structure. How do you want to throw the Jamitos in there?
If we were to fit them in a way that would be very, very close to the way they are in the actual game, he's doing push-ups or sit-ups.
Sorry, I was stretching.
He's doing stretch-ups.
I was stretching and leaning back.
I'm trying to think of what it would be done. So,
we already nixed the bundles.
You see the Junimos there. You find out from the wizard that you can see the Junimos, even though they're kind of mystical and not many people can. You have to have some kind of childlike nature or something in you to see them. I don't know how that works. Yeah. I think if we don't go that route, because with that route, that would imply another whole thing of like, wow, is our character more important than they seem? No, I think they're just.
I think we can make it more of just like Jaminos are really shy, but they take to Shirley.
I like that. Yeah, so we say they're really timid, and we say that maybe. I would like the wizard to explain all the mysticism, because I think he would be the only person that could.
Yeah, I guess we have to. We have
I
to
mean,
have
if
a
we
wizard,
take
don't
out
we?
the wizard, who would be the one to explain it? Is the question.
You got a point.
Yeah.
You got a point. We got to have the. He's a.
What if the wizard is different than he is in the game?
No, I think we got to keep it the same.
Really?
Well, different how?
Like, what if he does live on the outskirts of town in kind of like a weird tower, on the other side of the lake? Not even a weird tower. He just lives in a weird house on the outskirts of town.
I think we're tower. We got to keep tower.
He still goes into the town. He doesn't really associate with the people too much, but he still is a part of the town. That way he can be in scene and stuff. And we could even say like he wears, a different outfit when he's just walking around in town. Because then that would give a reason. Because otherwise, we're gonna have this thing where he, Shirley gets the letter to go see him. I think, what if he's just there? Like, what if he's in the community center?
Yeah, she sees maybe she returns to because she's like, what was that thing? And she's walking by it for to go to the mines or something. Yeah. She's like, let me look in, and she sees it. Maybe she has a little interaction, like she grabs it or something, like a little.
Yeah, or
like
it walks up to her.
Yeah,
the wizard's
like
there,
you would with a rat, and then
like,
the wizard's behind. The wizard's behind her, silhouetted by the light. He's like, "You have discovered the Juminos."
I have one thing to say, like you would with a rat.
Yeah, like the movie Ratatouille. Have you seen Ratatouille?
I've seen Ratatouille. What do you?
You know a part where he goes like this with the rat?
Yeah.
That.
Specifically,
yeah.
Like you,
not like I would with a rat, like you would with a rat.
What if it was Remy?
No, step on
him. You go from Remy to Squishy in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
He goes from Remy to Rowdy.
He's gonna get you.
So what? We don't want to turn it into a porg. We don't want to turn it into a porg situation.
No,
with these
no.
Juminos. So how big? What do you think?
I think they're the marketable plushie of the story in every aspect.
I mean, that's certainly true. But like, we don't. What's the point? Because the porgs didn't have a point.
What if we imply that? No, the porgs did not have a point.
Other than make Chewbacca hungry.
And make him feel guilty.
After he ate.
They made him feel guilty for being the white man. I mean, the Wookiee man.
All right. Yeah. What do you think?
I think
because they need to have a point.
In the games, they are the one that do all the repairs and the constructions. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think we need it to have to be the community itself. I think.
I agree.
What if they? What if we tie what if we make it a little more mystical and we say the crop we have it tied to the farming. And say that the quality of the crop, the quality of the soil is directly tied to how happy the Junimo are. So the Junimo are more like a separate entity where they're animals. They're not sentient in the same way that they are in the games where you do things and they respond and they say, oh, okay, what if they're more like animals? But
like
they
the little forest spirits in Princess Mononoke.
Yeah. And so it'd be like if things are done that give off, I don't know how the best way to explain this would be, but that sense of community, that sense of nature, that sense of connection with all this stuff would make the town flourish because it's.
I think we could make it a lot simpler than that. That sounds like a game mechanic.
It kind of.
I think we could just have it straight up be like it's directly proportional to community sense or the sense of community. And maybe
but then what do they do?
Maybe they don't have to do anything like the things in Princess Mononoke. They just kind of hang out. They kind of
sit there, look at you with those.
So they're just a visual representation. So the wizard says maybe they could be like, "Oh, this is the only Jumino left," But
it's like he's the last. He's the forgotten one who's here. He's like, but
right,
he needs.
But yeah, and then at the end, maybe you can see they're all around.
Yeah, we make it allegorical.
Yeah,
and say like as the community builds, they themselves build. Okay,
easy,
cool.
Simple.
I like that. We just make it allegorical, and we make
it easy.
We make it a footnote.
She plays Tetris. In this one. That was a reference to our Tetris
question.
Episode.
That was another reference to our Tetris episode. I have a question. Do you remember in Stardew Valley?
Yeah. Why are you playing with
There's a game called Junimo Kart.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Do you also remember in Stardew Valley that there is Junimo plushies that you can buy and find in the world?
I did not know that.
If the Junimos are so secret and mystical, why is there not only books, marketable plushies, video games, and other things based off of them that look exactly like the way they actually look?
We don't ask those kind of questions. We can't.
You know what? Actually, it makes perfect sense. Why do we freaking write books about fairies? If fairies ever were real, right?
Well, except
books
fairies
and
aren't.
games.
Except fairies aren't real.
But I'm saying, like, if you were to believe that something was a legend and a myth, you would probably make games and stuff out of it. And then if it turned out to be real, you'd be like, oh crap, it's real.
Uh-oh. All right. Okay, cool. So that's the Jumino problem solved.
I'm not a fairy.
Okay. I didn't think you were. You're more of a goblin. I got two questions, or two things I want to talk about. Let's talk about mining, and let's talk about combat.
Cryptocurrency.
Okay. Because
mining.
I know. I am hesitant to bring in the combat system into our Hallmark movie.
I don't think we have to bring. I think we should showcase that there are monsters and danger.
I think we could even showcase combat. I just don't think I don't like the idea of Shirley getting out there with this bug sword, slashing and dashing. I think we can have the eye patch man. Maybe I don't know, maybe for some reason she's in the mine and she gets attacked. And then eye patch man has to save her.
I think he even gives her a sword and she just kind of gets a little standoffish at that point to the whole concept.
Yeah.
Like protect yourself. We could even make him over the top, like he's way too edgy, way too dramatic. She's just kind of like, I don't think I want to mine anymore.
I'm gonna hit the ladder, actually. So why would she be in the mine then?
I think she would be in the mine initially. I think it would be nice if we showcase maybe. Remember how we said earlier one of her points could be trying to find something that makes her valuable?
Yeah.
What if that's okay? What if maybe initially, like, we have a kind of a montage, but no, more of just kind of a series of things that she's trying. That there's already people who do those things in the city, and the one thing that's not being done right now, or at least is not being led properly, is farming.
My one thing I'm not loving about that is, just like in the game, I imagine she would start farming. And then you're saying she tries.
What if she didn't? What if she moves into the house?
But it's like, why wouldn't you? Because you're on a farm. So it's kind of like...
That's the point. What if that just seems like so far-fetched to her? And I don't know, because then that would be like everything else would seem so far-fetched too. You'd be like, why would you go mining? That's very a game thing. That's like when you play a game, you look at what's right in front of you and you do it because you can, and then you try and experiment with it. I'm trying to think the best way.
But I mean, she specifically moved to a farm, so it just seems weird to me that
I see it as she moved specifically to Pelican Town, away from the city.
I guess she doesn't have to use a farm.
We could even say that it was a farm, but at this point, it's so overgrown, it doesn't even look. It's just land. It looks like land, right? So the effort would have to go in to prepare it. And what if she initially is like? We hear the whole thing about the community. The guy Pierre talks about everything. Got to bring in some kind of thing.
Well, maybe she
could ask him. She could ask him. Say, well, what does this provide? And they'd be like, well, there's sea with fish, and there's this with the mountains with ore and all this. And it's just like we haven't.
All our farming gets shipped off to the big city.
Right.
Okay. What about she doesn't consider farming until she talks to Pierre? So
I'm fine with that. We could say that the mayor would be the one who initially tells her about what's going on in the town.
Yeah. So let's just figure out sequence. So she moves to Pelican Town. She meets with the mayor and Robin. Sees her house just like the game, and then
Robin insults her house just like the game.
Just like the game. She says, "I can fix this." Mayor gives her a tour of the town.
Mayor gives her the town. You are the mayor now.
How do we get from after the tour to mining and fishing and foraging and all that stuff without it seeming weird?
if she's introverted, which is a problem to one of my ideas. One of my ideas was she goes there and then has the intention to fully make something of herself and just starts trying out things. But if she's introverted, that doesn't work. So alternatively, what she could end up doing is she goes there, she hears about, the problems with the town, where it's not working, where it's kind of failing, etc. And what if she
let me I can pick you up here if you would.
You probably can. Better than I could think.
What if she only tries mining? Because it feels weird to me that she would try everything. Even though that does obviously represent Stardew. What if she only tries mining?
What if we make mining more enticing then?
Exactly. She only does it out of greed, and then she goes to Pierre and she starts farming because she feels bad for this town. So it's
I like that. What if it's even like,
so she meets
imply that the mine itself has a lot of valuable stuff in it, but the problem is it's been kind of abused. We could say that, like fracked.
Is fracked the right word? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be for oil, but yeah, it's the same thing. It's basically
strip mined or
whatever. And so what's left are these giant open chasms that she would go down in, and the mayor could even like say something like, but there's always going to be some bit of gold left, and who knows who can become the next rich person. And so we see that sense of that first world luxury back for that second, where she's like,
I like that a lot. Yeah.
I could get rich. So she goes up there with the intent, like, I'm gonna get rich. Encounters a monster.
Finds 1 copper ore.
Right. One copper ore.
And
7 slimes.
We don't want. His name's Gunther, I think. The eye patch.
No, Gunther is the
Gunther's the other guy. Oh, that's right. I don't know what his name is.
I want to have Gunther in there.
We can absolutely have Gunther.
Gunther's gonna be in there.
He's gonna be in there. Played by you. Master of Lake Town.
Shut up. I am Gunther. Don't tell people I'm Gunther.
I'm gonna play Maurice.
Wait, you look nothing. What is the point?
I don't know. It could be fun.
I know who you could be.
Who's that?
I know exactly who you could be.
Uh-oh. Who you got?
Hello, Mayor Lewis.
You want me to be Mayor Lewis? I'm 23.
You're lanky. He's tall and lanky. That's his thing.
He's 60. I could be Harvey.
I don't know. You don't know how. Harvey.
I'll be Harvey.
You can be Harvey.
All right, Gunther. You keep talking. We don't want the eye patch man to have too big of a presence, because I feel like when he saves her, it's going to be a little bit like that hero's journey, step 4, Obi-Wan Kenobi type.
No, that's why I think we should kind of make him an exaggeration, where she just
make him really weird. Yeah.
Right. So
and not weird in like a good way, but just
he saves her, gives her the sword, makes it seem like it's setting up for something, right? And then she's just like, nope, like I don't really want to do this anymore, like because
I don't like this.
Right. Now, do we want to imply that it's known that monsters exist in this world? I think that would be a lot easier to take. They could just be. It's the same way that in Pokemon, they're just animals.
Pokemon exist. Yeah.
We could say that monsters exist, and it's just in the city you would never encounter them.
Right.
But in here, it's like, holy cow! Nope. All right, I wasn't expecting this. I'm going home. It's like when you see a bear.
Maybe Shirley thinks like, oh, I'm on level 1. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Nope. Maybe that's why they stopped. Maybe that's what the mirror can say. They stopped mining too many monsters.
Ooh, yeah. That'd be even better. We could say like, many have tried to get the treasures. No, not like that, but you get what I'm saying.
Many have failed.
This is Jeremy.
Okay, and then
he used to be a member of the town.
Yeah, and then I imagine we just pretty straightforward from there. She starts farming. She starts falling in love with Shane. Forging relationship.
Gets friends.
Yep. I think we start seeing more Juminos show up.
Yes. Gradually.
And maybe that could be.
Maybe she doesn't even notice. And then when things. Oh, man. That'd be
Well, I think. What if that second time she goes to the community center, we have the little ratatouille scene. And then we see another one. She's like, "Oh, you have a friend." And the wizard says, "They are not friends. They are mythical creatures."
Yeah, I like that. He could explain it. Like he could be very matter of fact. Like they are cute and they're funny, but he's just like, "What? They just mean this." It's like they are they are developed, blah, and only few can see them, or something.
Yeah, if we want, or maybe we just say this. I think they're just shy. Yeah, that works better.
And then
I think the Act 2 downturn where we see a lot of the Jumino have disappeared. Maybe she walks by the community center and there's only a couple.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh," but she's so sad. She's like, "Oh."
And we could say that they could even kind of be hiding from her as kind of a little narrative point of like, ooh,
you really messed up this time.
Yeah, sure.
By getting too close to Shane. You got too close to Shane. You neglected your farm.
I like that though. I like how it turns something like, because that's not in reality, it's not a bad thing, but there are always downsides to priorities. You're always going to have something that gets neglected, and
at the end of the day, she gets her cake and eats.
She gets both.
She gets a community and Shane.
It's a Hallmark movie. She gets her cake.
It's a Hallmark movie, folks. All right, is there anything else we need to talk about? Do you think that you wanted to bring up?
Christmas dog.
Okay.
Hallmark movie, but no. I think we need to talk about two more aspects of one really, that is in Stardew Valley.
I'm sure
the
there's
other
a lot
two, I think you can agree with
forgotten.
this one. This is the one we don't really have to talk about. Pet and horse. I think that's just going to be there. Just going to kind of.
She can have a horse.
She can
have a cat. It's fun. Yeah, it's background stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Not. It's not going to play a big role. I think it would be in the same way that in Western movies people ride horses. You don't think of the horse.
Yeah, she just doesn't have. Yeah, she doesn't have. That can symbolize. Originally she was going for that car. Now she got a horse.
She got a horse.
Now she got a horse.
It could even show up just in that second year thing. Doesn't matter.
I like that. Yeah.
So the thing that I actually think we need to.
Oh, I like the second year. She's got sheds. She's got the greenhouse.
Yeah.
She's got all the cool stuff. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. What did you want?
Animals in general. Do we want animals to be a part of her process?
I think chickens, because that would be with the big Shane thing, because Shane loves them chickies.
So Shane could have a scene wwhere Shane is at the farm, sees them chickies.
He'd go, "Oh, baby boy." That's how I used to talk to the chickens. I'd say, "Oh, chicky, baby, you give me no eggs today. Ooh.
Time to die.
Time to die." I just hit. I hit him a little bit.
Sword goes right through him.
That could also be another introduction to Shane. I think you have the scene where he's really rude to her, and then she goes to Marnie's house. She sees Shane there because she wants to buy animals.
Yeah,
and Shane lives it.
And he's not standoffish. He's just playing with a chicken.
He's playing with a chicken. Yeah. So it's just, I 100%, I'm all in. I don't think we necessarily need to bring in artisan goods, as sad as that is to admit, because I am an artisan boy.
There are a lot of aspects that are strictly for the game. When you play the game and you talk about artisan goods, it's because you want more money. That's yeah.
Or it's because Leah likes wine.
Or it's because all mine like just regular crops, so I just freaking would I just take a whole stack of melons and just have melons.
Oh, melons!
Penny likes melons. And Poppy.
Melons are so hard to grow.
Maru,
take 12
Maru
days.
likes cauliflower and emeralds.
Just give them eggs. Everyone likes eggs. Universal
likes, but doesn't love. Leia loves wine.
Leah likes salad, and it's 400 gold at the saloon, so I just bulk bought a bunch of salad until she loved me. We're getting healthy.
You had to get the big salad.
I got a bulk salad.
The bulk salad.
Yeah, I completely think. I think Shirley is going to be a crops and animal farmer. Nothing more than that. That's
fine by me.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that wraps it up.
All right. I really like this one. I'm a fan of this. I think we call it.
It's simple. It feels good.
We were never not going to do a feel good Stardew Valley movie because that's just not the point of the game.
We go the fan route and do an overly dark, hit piece. Not hit piece.
Hit piece. Here's what Mayor Lewis isn't telling you. Why would the fans not want a feel good movie?
Because they think the story has so much more than what is told, and they're probably right. I don't know what concerned apes do, and he's concerned. But
she's so concerned
about an ape.
What's wrong with the ape, Jerry?
Does that Jerry the ape?
Jerry the ape is so
I
concerned.
just hit my mic with the hanger. Here's the question for you. Does that icon look like an ape at all? Look up concerned ape. Does that thing look
I know what
like
it looks
ape?
like. It looks ape-ish.
No. I'm
Ape-ish.
concerned for that ape.
Have you ever seen a concerned ape in real life? Maybe that's what it looks like.
When they get concerned, their whole face just changes.
They go. All right. I think we call it Stardew Valley, or maybe
Something Pelican
Welcome to
Town.
Pelican Town, something like that. I don't know.
I think
A
Stardew Valley. I think Stardew Valley is fine. The Christmas dog.
All right. I think this might be our first PG movie. I guess Overcooked was PG.
This is going to be our first.
This one's just PG because there's nothing bad in it.
Right. There's nothing questionable in it. But it's not going to be a movie that I think kids will enjoy.
It's not a kids movie, but it's just like
it's a family movie, but
it's like Secret Life of Walter Mitty. You know, it's like it's not for kids, but it's not. It just doesn't have
there's nothing
like
in it that kids can't see.
Intense stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if kids would be interested in it, but you know,
probably I don't think
maybe.
so. And I think that the demographic of Stardew Valley in general is not children. It's people like us.
People bored people. We'll leave it at that. All right. Well, let's wrap up then.
All right.
Thank you so much. This is our first live stream speculation station. This was fun. I had a fun time.
This was fun. We'll be better prepared. Maybe we do more.
I don't have to edit it, which is always nice. I should be able to upload this as a normal podcast episode, which I'll do as soon as I can.
Right. You will miss out, sadly. If you were not here, you'll miss out on some of the goofs. But
I'm going to throw it up unedited. I ain't touching this one. This was Ron Wrigley, like we said. But if you can, share the show to people who might like it. You know, we've done 20 episodes by now. So there's got to be at least one game in there you like. Everyone likes Doom or Fallout or Tetris. Roller Coaster Tycoon.
You can go to our website to find all that. You know what else you can find on our website?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
The entirety of Horizon Zero Dawn is on our website.
You can also on our website find a link to our Patreon.
That's it.
So you can support the show more financially. Help us do more stuff, which is always good.
Just like Eric said, if you don't want to support it financially, but you still want to support, which we are much appreciative of, you can share it. Yeah. Or you can contact us directly, show your support. You can send us a game/movie ideas. Let's say you want to see a movie about Mr. Game & Watch, and it's a dark comedy because he is very dark.
And he's a comedy.
You can write to us on that. You can send it to our email, which you'll find on our website. Or you can reach out to us on social media. What else can they do to our social media?
They can follow us. We are at SpecReel, same as we are on Twitch. SPECREEL.
Find out what it means to me.
Okay. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram as well. All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. I think we're about to head off.
Oh,
I think we're leaving the speculation station.
Is that what you heard?
That is what I heard from the conductor.
Then I guess we'll see you at the next stop.
A choo-choo. Bye.
Bye. Hang on. I'm bringing in the outro music.
Yeah, it's the outro music.
Full circle. There it is.